Round 3! Okay, now let's take a little bit of a deeper look into the arguments actually made in these articles and what they're actually saying about carry, because as we said in round 1, they basically ignore most of firearms laws and strictly focus on the carrying of firearms, which is, again, one of those things where, like, yeah, you're just looking at one point because... Anyway, so let's talk about that one point that they actually argue badly. The main focus, or the entire focus, is on concealed carry or open carry of weapons, such as firearms and knives in the Wild West. Now, an important point that I will give some of to the articles is that they do in fact mention that yes, this only was a town-by-town rule. It was not every town. Most of the Wild West weren't states yet, so you can't really have state rule. Yeah, actually. Okay, I've been saying most of, but like it's kind of like all between 1850 and 1912, they all kind of join. So like, there's a lot of unincorporated territory. Let's just say that. And baby states. So just to fact check myself, but there's still, anyway. But again, to shit on the article a little bit more, this amounts to 2 sentences in an 8-paragraph article, which generally argues against 2A and for more strict gun laws. Not really about the historical facts, which I understand is the entire point, but if you haven't figured it out by now, I know this, I am completely aware of this, and that's part of the joke. Yes, Kitty, I know. You feel the same about this. It's very angry. Hey, Deanie. You want to come say hi? This is my Dean. She does not want to be picked up right now, so I'll put her back down. Anyway, let's quote from one of the articles, or the quote that they all use, because they seem to be whatever. This is the exact quote that they all use. Quote, "People were allowed to own guns, and everyone did own guns in the West. For the most part," says Winkler, "having a firearm to protect yourself in the lawless wilderness from wild animals, hostile native tribes, and outlaws was a wise idea. But when you came into a town, you had to either check your guns if you were a visitor or keep your guns at home if you were a resident," end quote. So, in other words, everyone had guns and needed guns for the most part, but generally kept them at home when they were hanging out with their friends or getting drunk or going about their daily business in their town. That's not stricter gun laws. Article, your only point of evidence doesn't even prove your point. Remember when I said about making more fun of me? Remember when I said the thing about making this more fun for me? Come on! Location-based gun rules in small areas, such as private property, hotels, malls, federal buildings, etc., is a normal thing, just as everyday life today. And that quote actually does more to prove against the Wild West having more gun laws than for it. The only way it argues the article's point is if you don't have a historical understanding of towns, which I now realize as I write this, most people don't. Most people would read that article without further historical context and see that as towns are everywhere. They're unincorporated land, and that would basically mean no guns, pretty much anywhere. And that's not exactly what the world looked like back then. We're not, butt to butt, town to town. Frontier towns ranged from a few hundred people to maybe 1,000 or few if they were mining towns. And most people didn't live within the main road or town area. That was mainly shops, trading posts, saloons, brothels, etc. People were more spread out in homesteads or small farms or ranches, and in a time where main transports were horses or feet, and towns were small and had large distances between them, it actually seems a lot more like if you come from a long day out working, check your firearms and your coat, and sit down to play cards, hire a sex worker, and have a drink. It's much more reasonable. This is a much different view with the historical context from what the overall articles tend to claim. And with that historical context, with the quote, I feel much more satisfied about my view of the Wild West and guns. So round 3, I say we can give to the comments to see who wins, but overall, if 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I would like to let you know that some information about my channel. First off, that I am only funded by my Patreon. I will not be doing sponsorships or using YouTube's monetization feature, even though they've asked me twice now. So if you are interested in that, you get extra GunBunny content, and it starts at $5. So my link for the Patreon will be in the description below and on screen now. I also have a PayPal box where you're welcome to send me things. I will soon actually be putting together a requested list of guns and tactical gear and stuff that I like, including ammo, if people want to send me things that aren't a subscription-based service, or if you just have stuff lying around. So that will be being compiled soon, and I will keep that updated so people can know, like, oh, what does she own, what does she, etc. I also want to say that I post videos every Monday and Thursday, so come to my channel and check out there. I do a good mix of things. I do everything from competitions to trying new guns to cosplay, shooting in cosplay, more goofy videos kind of like this, making cosplay, and just also pure goofing off. I also generally document my journey through guns and opening a gun shop. Let me think. I have social medias, which are on the screen over here somewhere, where you can follow me, but I mostly post on YouTube and sometimes on Instagram. I definitely enjoyed today's video. I hope you did too. I will see you in the next one. Bye!